Okay, all right. Let's get you in the spotlight. There we go. All right. So just introduce yourself and tell us about how people can book you.
Hi. Okay, so good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. So excited to be with this group. I am Migdalia Rodriguez, and I am a former social worker, school counselor that took a leap of faith and to start my own coaching and healing business, Infinite Flow Healing. I am dedicated to working with women on wellness and empowerment. I have my own personal healing journey around these issues. I'm going to share kind of like what started this for me. Over a decade ago, I was what you might refer to, I don't know, the term I use sometimes is kind of like a little bit of a hot mess, like sick all the time. Like my back was always in pain, just very emotional, just a lot going on health-wise. And I ended up in the emergency room one day and they could not find anything wrong with me. And they're like, we can see that you are in pain, but like physically with all the tests, everything we've done, there's nothing, like we can't find anything wrong. And so then I was encouraged to maybe seek out like a physical therapist because they thought maybe it's just stress related. And it really was, and I ended up getting better through a physical therapist. But then I also visited one time a massotherapist who did energy healing as well. And when she worked with me, she said to me, your energy is very toxic. And like, I was like, what does she mean by that? Like I had never heard anybody say that before, right? So I was like, what does she mean by that? And it was kind of like a big punch in my gut. And so I started to really look into that. Like, what does that mean? Like toxic energy. And that's how I kind of came to learn about energy healing. And I started to seek out help from someone and I got better. Things got better. The physical started to heal, but then a lot of emotional stuff started to come up for me. A lot of emotional pain was coming up for me. And, it was because I wasn't being supported in a lot of ways. And then I realized that a lot of it was because I had these ideas, like my mindset was that I couldn't ask for help, or that the people who, I should count on aren't going to be there for me. So then I had all this mindset work to do. And then I realized that a lot of that came from kind of being spiritually disconnected, like not feeling like I was supported either by people or supported like by the divine. So it was this healing journey and this like discovering and kind of going through this process of really digging deep and like peeling the layers of what was going on with me, right? And then that kind of motivated me to learn more about some of the healing modalities. But then I also wanted to use all those skills that I had from counseling and social work. And so the two together, I combined them because I think it's really important for people, for women to understand at the level of the mind, how we sometimes may be creating, our imbalances, our dis-ease, right? Or even how we might be contributing to some of the physical illness that we may feel in our bodies sometimes. And so my passion is really helping women to transform their emotional pain and the things that they struggle with and be able to transform that into personal power and figure out how do I, like, what do I need to do What changes do I need to make in my life? How do I need to show up different? How do I need to be more authentic? And a lot of that is through exploring and a lot of questions, right? About like the patterns that we're stuck in, the beliefs that we have, where did they come from, the conditioning. There's just so many different layers sometimes when you really start to look into what's going on. And I'm also really big. So I'm really big about boundaries and learning how to say no when we need to say no, you know, and allowing our yes to be a yes and our no to be a no without having to explain to people. The other really big thing I try to work with women on is self-care. A lot of time as women, we are conditioning, like we're conditioned to believe that we have to be all things to everybody. And we're constantly taking on everybody else's stuff and worrying about it and trying to control everything and trying to overgive. And we never ask, you know, to receive, or we don't take care. Like we don't do enough to step back sometimes and refill ourselves, right? And so a big thing that I work with women on is that too, because we can't serve from an empty cup, right? And so it's so important sometimes for us to take care of ourselves, because when we take care of ourselves, we show up and we serve from a place of overflow, from a place of power, from a place of radiance, right? And people really benefit from that a lot more than when we're showing up exhausted, depleted, maybe even a little resentful, because that was one of the things that when I started to do my work, that was one of the things that I realized. It was a lot of times I was showing up, but in the inside, I was resentful because I was exhausted and I was depleted, right? And then, so when I took my time to learn how to set boundaries, to learn how to take care of myself, to prioritize self-care, then people started to realize, oh, wow, I really like how, and I got to tell you another little personal story. One time I was going through stuff with my daughter, and I was telling her, I'm really sorry. I know there's a lot of changes going on in our life, and you know, everything is hard for everybody, and I wish that things were different, right? And she was like, yeah, that's kind of sad, but because, you know, I was going through my divorce, and she was like, it was sad for her, right? But she told me, you're fun now to be around. Before all of this, you seem to always be sad and angry and stressed out, right? And I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that, you know, by trying to be all things, right, and not taking care of myself and not setting limits, that I was showing up for my children in a way that really was not serving them, right? So a big message for me, and a lot of my work, is just helping women recognize that and helping them to take care of themselves and helping them to step into their power, set limits, you know, find balance in their life so that they could be healthy and so they can, you know, be empowered. Okay. And so I am going to ask everybody if you are interested in just, you know, learning more about my style and maybe what, you know, I believe in stuff, I'm going to add my email list sign up. If you're interested, please sign up. I do 3 to 4 maybe a month. So I'm not huge on social media, but I am going to try to get, I'm going to try to push myself a little with this challenge, but I do email. So I do already have an email list. So I invite you, if you're interested, to sign up, share it with others, you know, connect with me on Facebook and LinkedIn as well. And I just look forward to just, you know, meeting some of you, talking to you. I do, in my earlier information, I put my Calendly. If you'd like a free discovery call, I do that. Or if you just want to come just to meet and talk, that's fine too. So thank you so much. Again, Migdalia Rodriguez. I'm a transformation coach and healer, Infinite Flow Healing. I'm very
Well,
grateful.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Thank you.
Well, make
That's so
make sure that
interesting.
everybody gets that. And when, as a challenger, you will have a day also that I'll send
Good.
out an email. So that will be the day that everybody goes and makes an appointment with you. So,
Okay.
Good. That's
yes,
awesome.
and you
Okay,
will
great.
definitely be a pro on social media, because I'll be coaching you now right through the challenge. So the whole idea is that I was gonna do 30, but that's a little ambition. But I'll try, because last week I wasn't able to get you all onto Facebook and Instagram. But I'll try to catch up, and then, because my idea was that you'd get 30 apps and 30, ways to market. So I might do a summary, but then in October we'll catch up. So make sure that you sign up for Migdalia, and we'll all try to support you and attend
Yes.
your event as well. So you've got a lot of support from us.
Thank you.
So that would be awesome. Yeah. All right, everybody. So let's move along.